Welcome into March, everyone. We got a bunch of trees removed this winter. We have a whole bunch of ground that needs to be tilled up and turned into crop ground. Pretty happy with how much we did get done. We did not get all of the trees removed in that section. We have quite a few to go, actually. We only got about half of it done. But it was rough, to say the least. Logging is not my thing. I'm not good at it. I don't like doing it. But in this case, it was necessary, and we made $100,000. I was very, very happy with that. So we've got some tilling we need to do, fertilizing we need to do, and I need to run into the dealer because our salesman called and said he has a tractor and a planter for me to take a look at. So we've got quite a bit to do this month, but the first thing we're going to do is run over to the John Deere, get it hooked up to our brand new to us John Deere 220 disc, and get to tilling. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to get this thing unfolded. And as you can see, I got a lot of area uncovered out here. So we've got a bunch of disking we need to do. So we'll get the outline done and then clean up everything in the middle and should be good to go. It's actually kind of nice having all those trees gone because this section of the river was completely hidden. I honestly didn't really know it was there to begin with. I figured that out when I looked at the map and saw how much we owned and realized I owned all the way up to the river. But before that, I didn't even know it was there. So having all those trees cleared out, all of a sudden we get a whole new background scenery to look at that I didn't even know existed. And I love fields that are not just squares or rectangles. I love fields that have winding end rows and hills. And honestly, I really don't like flat maps. This map, I was kind of honestly debating on whether or not I wanted to play it because it looked like it was a flat map, but there's a lot of small undulations through this map that I didn't realize were there. Even over in our grass field, I didn't notice how much that actually changed and had like rolling hills through it until I was running the front loader and picking up bales, and that's where it really became apparent just how much that field does oscillate. And it's things like that that really make the difference between an okay map and a great map. Alright, finishing up our last pass here, getting this field extended out. This thing's done a fantastic job. The tractor's pulled it right along, no problems. I'm very, very happy with how this is going. Now you can see little spots, and you'll see it when I pick up here, where if the tines on the back don't go over it, it leaves it in a plowed state instead of a cultivated state, which is interesting. As we drive along here, you're going to see a whole bunch of sticks laying out in the field. Not sure what's going on there, but I cannot pick them up. I can't disc them under, and I can't pick them up. So I don't know what's going on, but they're out here. Kind of a pain in the butt, but what do you do? Now, if we jump out, it's still showing that we only have 8.8 acres. I'm not sure if that maybe that doesn't change when you extend a field, but I'm definitely going to say we got to be closer to 14, 15 acres now in this field would be my guess. So if we pull up the steering assist here, you can see just how much we've actually extended that compared to where it used to be, where it was just kind of this small little rectangle here. Now that we're done extending the field, we'll go ahead and get this disc put away and run into town. We need to pick up a fertilizer cart so we can spread some dry fertilizer. And we also need to take a look at that tractor and planter and see if that's something we're going to purchase as well. All right, well, we are going to have to take the John Deere into town here to pick up that fertilizer cart because the pickup won't hook up to it. It would be really nice if Giants would make it, possible for the pickup to switch out hitches so we can hook up to everything. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that we can't. But that means we got to take the John Deere into town. Maybe one of our next purchases after our planter could be the fertilizer cart. That way we can at least, not drive to town every time we need to rent the cart. Maybe we can just buy one ourselves. All right, we are here at the dealership. As you can tell, we are all the way down to 27,000. So that means I went ahead and pulled the trigger on the tractor and planter. And I tell you what, I think I got one heck of a deal. So we spent $135,000 for both the tractor and the planter. And then it was another $2,500 for the fertilizer cart and fertilizer. So I know we still have that 500 liters back at the home place, but I don't know if that was going to be quite enough. So I went ahead and bought another pallet of fertilizer just to be sure. I don't want to run short and have to trek all the way back to town to buy it again, to buy one if we did run out. So I just went ahead and bought it and loaded it up while we were there. And over here is our new planting tractor and planter. We've got the Case 7240, and it does have a front loader hitch or front loader attachment to it. Now, it does not have the front loader on it. We would have to buy that separate. I decided not to for now. Really don't need it, especially while we got the John Deere. And then we got the Kinsey 3600 16-row planter set on 30-inch spacings. And I can't believe we got this set up for $135,000. Now, the tractor is very high hours, so it's something that's probably going to be a maintenance nightmare here in another year or two, but for now, it's honestly it's a steal. So I'll take it. So after we get the fertilizer spread and get the cart returned, we'll go ahead and bring this tractor and planter back to the home place and get it set up and ready to plant next month. But first, we need to get this fertilizer taken care of. So now that we have all of these tractors on the farm, we honestly kind of have too many. So I might just go ahead and get rid of that. Well, I don't know. I can't decide if I should get rid of the John Deere since we're kind of becoming a Case farm, and maybe just try and go with all red equipment, or what the future holds. That's something we're going to have to think on. That'll be for future episodes anyway, so why don't you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Should we get rid of the John Deere and buy a loader for the big Case, or do we get rid of the 1066 and go with just two bigger tractors? Alright, we're back here at the home place, getting ready to pull into the cornfield, and we will go ahead and get this thing fired up and get to spreading some dry fertilizer here. Now, this cart does have kind of a ridiculous spread width to it. It's 24 meters, so we will run through this field really fast. The only thing is, with us extending out our farmable acres here, I don't know how much extra fertilizer we would need, so that's why I went ahead and bought the tote, and we still have that 500 liter tote in the shed just in case we need it. But we should have more than enough fertilizer, I would think, but you just never know. Alright, well, we're just about done. I got one little spot I gotta hit with the fertilizer, and we're done. And like I said, I think last episode, I'm a little rusty, haven't played for a while. I completely forgot that what we tilled up will need to be limed. So we're going to have to run to town and get some lime. And I'm really glad we went ahead and bought that fertilizer pallet because we definitely would have run short. We're down below 300 liters left. So it's just a shade over 700 liters to get this field fertilized. And I'll go ahead and grab probably 2 pallets of lime. And hopefully that will cover what we need to get limed for the section that we tilled up this year to add onto the field. So yeah, we've got a little bit more work ahead of us, but that's fine. We're in no hurry. It's March and there's not a whole lot of field work we can do. We're just getting back from the co-op here. Picked up 2 pallets of lime. Gotta be honest, 2 pallets of lime is a bit much for this pickup. She's got a lot of body roll to it, as you can see. So kind of sketchy, but we made it. And I'm really hoping, since we don't have a set of pallet forks, that we can just load directly off of the pickup. Oh, there we go. So it will load directly out of the back of the pickup. That is absolutely fantastic. So we still have seed that we need to buy yet this year, so I'm hoping this is enough lime. Because now all of a sudden, you know, we're down to $26,000. Haven't bought any seed yet. Money's going to get very tight very fast. But one nice thing about this is the field is really easy to tell where we did and didn't disc up, so covering everything in lime will be pretty simple here. Well, we got our lime spread, got the fertilizer cart returned, and we had 57 liters of lime left over. So we got very lucky. But we got all the lime down, so we should get, you know, great yield all the way across the field. And we need to run back to town and pick up our other tractor and planter. All right, well, we're back here at the dealership, ready to pick up our tractor and planter. So we'll go ahead and get this thing drug home. And I do got to say, this is one good looking setup here. Yeah, I absolutely love this. So we'll get the hazards on and the beacons on, and we'll head her down the road. Now, is this an absolutely ridiculous setup for the small little field that we have? Absolutely it is. But for the deal we got on it, with the tractor being as high hours as it is, you know, it was hard to pass up. Now, the tractor's like, I think 260 horsepower. So it's not a beast by any means, but it's definitely by far our highest horsepower tractor. And it's a good step into growing this operation. And same with the planter. It's way ridiculous big for what we need right now. However, it's going to be able to grow with us, and we're going to be able to use this planter moving forward for a long time. So that's something we don't have to worry about upgrading for quite a few years. So that is super beneficial here. But we'll get this thing drug home. We'll get it unfolded, get a good look at it. And we also need to get it prepped and ready for next month, because next month we will be planting our soybeans. All right, we're back here at the home place, so we'll go ahead, get this planter unfolded here. That way we can go over it, make sure that they didn't miss anything at the co-op. Now, that should be all ready to go, greased up, everything checked over. It should be in working condition. But we just want to double check, make sure that everything is as it should be. Now that is a beautiful, beautiful setup. Oh, I absolutely love it. So we'll go through and make sure all of our sealers are adjusted correctly. Don't want to have the springs set too tight or too loose. Otherwise, you won't get proper coverage over the seed, and then you won't get proper emergence. Everything looks good. All of our boxes look like they're in good shape. And it looks like most of these fertilizer tanks on the front are either brand new or just barely used. So that's fantastic. I think this planter is for sure ready to go. So, and that is one good looking tractor. They got it all shined up and buffed up at the dealership for me. So we'll see. I may end up needing a weight on the front. We'll see how this thing pulls. If we're spinning too much, we'll have to go ahead and get a weight, get that front end pulled down a little bit, make sure it's digging. But otherwise, yeah, I think we're good to go. This thing looks absolutely fantastic. And I cannot wait to get it used next month. Well, I think that is everything we're going to get done in the month of March. So I will see you guys in April when it is time to plant, and also time for our first cutting of hay. Welcome into April, everyone. I'm just getting back from the co-op. We went and picked up 2 pro boxes of soybean seeds, and we are ready to start planting. I've already got the planter and the tractor out in the field ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get these over there, get that thing loaded up, and we'll be good to go. So with these pro boxes, you can attach to them using any front loader. You don't need to have a set of pallet forks. So we're going to try this. I haven't actually tried this yet, so I'm hoping it works. Watched a video on it. Showed that it worked, so let's try it out. Alright. So that worked. We'll get this over to the field, get that planter filled. I think it'll take 2. I'm not honestly sure. I probably should have checked to see how many liters of seed this thing holds, but no big deal. If it's too much, we can take it back. Well, there we go. We're loading with seed. Now, I did make the mistake of forgetting that I had the fertilize once mod installed. So we're not going to be putting down any fertilizer. We're fully fertilized for the year. That was my mistake. I'll make sure to have that shut off from here on out. But yeah, that's going to save us a pass, and it's going to save us some money. So in the long run, not the worst thing in the world. And our planter is full. So I'm going to just kind of park this over here in the shade for now, because there should be enough seed to plant this field, I think, but I'm not honestly sure. So we'll get this thing fired up. We'll get our GPS all set up and rolling here, and we should be good to go. So we're planting soybeans. I'm not sure how this is going to go, since we don't have storage. It would help if I turned the planter on, huh? So let's back up, try this again. Alright, fire it up. There we go. So I'm not sure how this is going to go with the soybeans, because we don't have storage. And I honestly didn't even think about that till now. So this could be really bad. We might lose a whole bunch of money, because I think soybeans are at their absolute worst price in October, when we'll be harvesting. So with that in mind, I think we're going to have to try and sell as many hay bales as we can to A, make sure we can pay our mortgage, because you can see we're already down to $18,000, and B, maybe try and put up a small bin. That way we can store our soybeans and get a better price for them, because I gotta be honest, I think we're gonna lose money. I don't think we'll profit if we don't find a way to store our soybeans. because their price is just atrocious in October. So I'll have to do some thinking on that, but for now, our number one priority is getting this field planted, and then we'll get the 1066 out and the mower, and we can start mowing grass and getting it ready to be tedded and turned into hay. And we should have quite a few bales this year, and we'll get at least 3 cuttings, maybe a 4th, I doubt it, but for sure 3. So that'll be a lot of bales for us to sell this winter, so that's great. But at the same time, I don't know how many we'll actually have to sell this winter at the high, because we're definitely going to have to sell some throughout the summer. So that's going to be an issue. Alright, and we're done planting soybeans, so we're done planting our crop for this year. We'll go ahead and get this drug back here into the home place and get it put away. And then we need to go ahead and start mowing some grass. I'm going to go ahead and sell our leftover seed, take that back to the co-op, sell it back to them. That'll help make us a bit of a profit. I don't think it'll be, life-changing by any means, but no reason to hold on to it for this year. Alright, so this Pro Box has 400 liters of seed left in it. The other one is completely full yet. And we'll go ahead and get these taken back to the co-op and get a little bit of cash back in our pocket here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get a worker hired up on the 1066 and the mower. That way they can go ahead and get some mowing done while I'm gone. Alright, well, we got all of our grass mowed, tedded, and raked. I didn't get anything recorded because my neighbor decided to mow their yard, and that's about all that was coming through my mic. So we'll get this baling done. I went ahead and mowed this grass over here, partially because I want more bales, and also because stacking bales over here sucked in the tall grass. So this should help out quite a bit. But we'll get this section we'll get this section baled, and then we can head over to the big field and get that all baled up as well. Alright, we have this section all baled up, and we almost got 4 bales off of it. That's pretty incredible. I expected 2 at most. So we'll head over to the big field and start getting it baled up. And I think we got 47 on it last year, so I would expect somewhere around 47 over here again. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, yeah, we got our seed taken back, returned, got our money back for the seed, and we're back up to 21,000. So that definitely helped. We have enough to get through, 4 or 5 months, I think. So not enough to get through the year. We'll definitely have to sell a trailer load or 2 of bales to get us through till the big bale sale in December, January. But for now, we're sitting honestly pretty decent. Alright, we got all of our baling done. We ended up with 47 bales off this field again. So we'll get this thing drug back home. I will need to pick up some round bale net. We barely had enough to get done, but we got her done, so I'm happy with that. And now we'll go ahead and get the John Deere and the bale trailer and get all these bales picked up and stacked. So we got to spend a little bit of money here on fertilizer and round bale net. Not a big deal by any means. And that's definitely not going to fit in that shed. So we'll put it over here in the big shed again. And yeah, we'll be down a couple grand here after fertilizer costs and whatnot. But we should have enough fertilizer to do that field, I believe. So we had some left over from doing the big field, the big bean field. And we'll need some, like I said, we'll need some of that round bale net. So we'll spend a couple $1,000s here yet this month. But first, let's get these bales picked up. Alright, as you can see, we've got all of our bales picked up and stacked over here mostly nicely. So we'll head over to the big field and get the fertilizer spread out there. We've got just shy of 800 liters. Should be enough. If I remember right, I think it was like right at 500 liters is what this field took last time. So should have plenty of fertilizer to cover this one. And when we return it, we will have to pay our rental cost for this fertilizer cart. And I'm honestly thinking about complaining to them. They didn't even wash it after the last time. But we'll go ahead, get this thing fired up, and get to spreading some fertilizer here. Alright, we have our field fertilized. So we've got 330 liters left, so I think that might have been just a shade under 500 liters. Pretty close anyway. So that's done, and I think that's about it for the month of April. So moving forward here, I don't own a sprayer, and I don't have the money for a sprayer, so I'm going to go ahead and pay the co-op to spray my bean field for me. It's going to cost about $6,000, but it's a lot cheaper than buying a sprayer. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. I need to buy some more round bale net, and that's probably going to be about it until July when we're ready to mow and bale our hay again. So for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like what you're seeing, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.